Hey everyone, and welcome to another Gadget Talk. Hey, sorry for getting the link up there late. Life happens, and we were kind of doing a lot of different stuff going on. So, but
That's
we're
my
here.
fault.
It's all right. We're here. We're doing this, and we're going to be talking. And it's like we're going to be going over latches, how to creating a gadget cache latch. And I might have touched on this on a couple of other places, but Chad's going to spend some time and actually really dive into this a little bit more. So I will just want to welcome everybody. I saw on here what's here. We got GCD SK11 from Medicine Hat joining us. Cache Addict Mel, Tom Brotherman. Hey, that really does stink about a cache. I'm going to have to archive one of mine here in Memphis as well. Somebody broke into it, and some of y'all might have done it, which was my Name That Tune inspired cache with Elvis on it. That's going to have to get archived. Somebody broke into it. So yeah, I feel your pain. Tony Golden has joined us. Darren from Australia. Dara Wolf is with us. Tricashus. And Chad and I were just talking about the vandalism, and then how your community is so awesome with your caches, Chad. So we're just talking about that. Pizza has joined us. B&J Bish, TKD Scouter, Engineering 42, Riley Family Geocaching Adventure, Dave Wagner's on with us tonight, DJW House, QC Cryptid, and Mo Dorama. Hey, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us. Before we get much further tonight, and we got a lot of people watching tonight. Elizabeth is on with us as well. Just saw that. This is really awesome. Love seeing everybody on here tonight. But before we get much further, we'll dive into this, and Chad and I were also just talking about Mandalorian and other stuff, some things that we're just because the pod of Chad's that where Grogu's sitting in is very similar to what came out this season. So we're kind of geeking out about that a little bit. But before we get much further, let's go ahead and take care of our sponsors. If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special path tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today. All right, so, hey, we got Johnny Cash, and that's kind of brings a little bit back to me since I'm here in Memphis. But also, yeah, I've had to move my office. My son from Texas actually has moved back with us, and he's up in my office now. So I'm downstairs. So that's why you're seeing my guitars here. So I got an electric, there's an acoustic, which actually is my daughter's, and then I have my bass up here. There's a steel guitar over here in the garage too. So, but there's just the guitars, and then there's a 100-year-old upright baby concert grand piano. Just you can kind of see the edge of it right here. So there's a lot of musical instruments, a lot of music inspiration in my family and stuff, and with my wife and everything. So, yep, a little bit different location. So you'll get used to seeing this location now versus upstairs, because that's now a bedroom. So, or I'll be out in the shop, which I'm still working on getting that cleaned up. So, but yeah, we're going to be going to a lot of different stuff tonight. So, but just really excited to see how many people are on with us tonight. I guess football season's over, Chad, and so we're going to be hitting this back in.
This is back to our Tuesday night.
Yes, Tuesday night numbers. This is awesome. So, but once again, welcome everybody. And all right, Chad,
let's go ahead and share real quick a clue.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Number 11.
Clue number 11. So let me find it again. I just saw it a second ago. I moved away from it. There. Oh, I think it's this one. Nope, that's not. That's something else we were working on. Where'd you drop it?
Dire Wolf is funny. Here, I can bring it up. It should be under brand.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I'll bring it up.
There it is. Okay. All right. Lockbox hidden in a creative around its stone wall, obscured by a small stone and weeds. The box is also in a cheap plastic bag to disguise it as trash to any potential discoverer and remain untouched. I don't know. So
Nice.
I can see looking at the picture, I can see it down here in the corner on the right one, but it looks like there might be something that is in front of it. So
Yeah.
there's your clue. Look at the pictures. If you have to come back and pause it, I haven't I'll be honest, I haven't looked at this clues on this one at all. So
I haven't either. I hid one a few weeks ago, which isn't out yet. We're doing these in order, releasing them, so
yeah.
not everything's at one time. But yeah, so I haven't really followed this one here at all. But it's fun. This game is really fun, and I really enjoy the feedback and also the posts that people are doing on the clues and waiting for the next clue. I think that's great.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, this is I'm looking forward to that. And this has been a lot of fun. Unfortunately I have not hidden keys. I got some that are going to be going to a couple of other states. Some people are going to be taking those tips for me. So we'll be getting those out hopefully here pretty soon. Hey, Bill on the Move's on with us tonight as well. Welcome.
Oh wow!
So yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, Oscars is tonight, and nobody wants to watch anybody getting smacked tonight, so they're all over here watching us. So
Nice. Well, we should keep it that way. I wish the Oscars were every Sunday.
yeah, let's do that. So, all right, let's get on the move. Let's talk about creating this latch. So, I'm gonna bring in your. You ready for me bringing your build cam?
No, not yet. So, what we were talking about before. So we started the Star Wars cache, and I'm just not happy with the way it's going. It's one of those builds that is not motivating me. So I really want to switch to a bigger container.
Okay.
May the 4th is coming up, which is the reason why I'm hiding this cache or making this cache.
Right.
And so I really want to make a bigger experience with the cache. And in the past, we've talked about different things we can do Star Wars like for the cache itself. So a bigger container would actually allow me to make a multi-step puzzle box type thing. So we talked about one point about making the buttons in the front of the box. So you have to actually have multiple people to actually open the box itself.
Right. I remember that.
So the box I'm talking about is this one here. I really want to switch over to this here.
Oh wow, the thing's huge.
Container to be the cache itself. And what I'd like to do is, in the past, I've shown the low voltage wire covers. And I'll actually just pull the build cam here. I can just pop this up real quick.
Okay.
So these low voltage covers here, where I can mount them actually on the sides, multiple of them around that box there.
And that looks Star Warsy.
With a button. Yeah, and once you paint it and everything, you can even put a number on here or a logo, anything like that. So I just real quickly made it onto, just screwed it to a piece of wood. If you look underneath it, there's buttons here, and they'll light up. So it's actually kind of cool. So when it's lit up, there's actually kind of a glow coming off the bottom of the.
Yeah, that's cool.
Out of this, and so if you had multiples, 4, 5, 6, whatever. I'm thinking 4 of them around the box, and they all had to be pushed at the same time to activate. That'd be kind of a fun way to make it kind of a teamwork cache. And with these covers being on the buttons, it makes it harder to see, but maybe hopefully a little bit harder for someone just to be able to jam something in there. Of course, this is an event cache, so I won't allow anybody to jam anything in, but they'll have to do this somewhere else in the building. But anyway, so that's my thought. I added a latch to it here at the top. That's okay. We can go back. No big deal. I did some quick wiring on it, and I can actually just kind of show what my thought was, and then other latches that I was thinking about using. I just turned my monitor off.
That's all right. I still see everything.
Okay, good. I don't see anything right now.
So, and I love there your monitor's back on now. So, and those are one real quick while you're working on hooking that up. Pizza Ninja put on here. Make sure to join the Cache Fest Memphis Vault group to get on all the clues. And there's the link right there on the in there, so you can click on that. That'll help you if you're wanting to find those keys or where those keys will be in place to see all the clues. That's where you can go.
Yeah, good point. So, I'm going to hook up obviously the negative to negative, and the positive to positive on the battery that I wired up earlier. So,
and is that a 12-volt latch?
Yeah, 12 volt. I use 12 volt for a lot of things. So, anyways, you see the buttons are lit up now,
right?
And you can't really see it, but
I can see it. I can see it glowing off
all the
your hand,
lights, but it's glowing, and it actually has kind of a cool glow to it as it's sitting there. So when it's on the outside of the box and it's shut, it's going to look really cool. And then of course I'm going to lay it down just because I can't take care of the standing up, or I can't do it. But if you push both buttons, so if I do one, it won't work, or the other, you have to do all of them, and then you have the latch work. So I'll probably have 4 of them around the box, so it'll take at least 2 people. But anyways, that was my thought on the cache. And you could actually do these buttons. I have these buttons in all different colors, so I haven't decided if I like the white or if I want to do something else.
Right. I think a different color. I mean, you could do like a red or a blue. Maybe both of them. Do red on one side, blue on the other, or red and blue, so you have like the composing dark side, light side kind of thing going on. That might be kind of cool, especially since this is a Star Wars cache.
Yeah.
So, or even a green, because a lot of times when they're shooting the I wanted to say phasers because I was watching Star Trek earlier tonight, and I know that's like the Star Wars people, that's blasphemy, but they're the blasters. When they shoot the blasters, usually the Empire's red and the other is green. So just kind of maybe that aspect of it that you could use.
Well, it's going to be an Imperial box. I like building Imperial.
So it's going to be red. So it's definitely going to be red.
So the red idea I like. In fact, I should show you. I have them right here. I did some new suitcases for me and my family, and I'll show them when we're done. Don't let me forget.
Okay, so, I'm writing a note.
Otherwise, we're going to get off track and we won't cover anything.
It's all good.
So the other thing I thought about is I picked up these commercial buttons here for a multi-person cache as well. Okay. And these are nice commercial weatherproof ones that some do light up and some do not. And these are actually not too expensive, so you could actually put these out in the wild. Some have conduit hookups to them, and some light up and some don't. So there's different types of buttons on them that are waterproof. I don't know if you can see this type of button here. In fact, I could probably go lower with my camera, but so this is an aluminum case around here. It all screws in with weather seal and everything. And you could put multiple of these, some in places with conduit that run. This one, same thing. You can put conduit in it, or you can drill your own hole and have it go into something. Or it also has a spot for its own conduit or just direct wire. And then there's this one here. So I have several of them here. This is kind of a more basic, does not light up one. But same thing, it's weatherproof. You can see the weatherproofing seal in there for it. You can hook up conduit too if you want, or you go right out the back into something. So these are kind of fun buttons that can be pushed over and over and over, and you're not going to have any issues with them, depending on where it's at. And they can be out in the weather. Right.
All right. So got some comments coming in. Jim Stark says could have a 5th button. And when he said that, I was thinking 5th brother. 5th button that does not light, and if pushed with the others, it prevents the others from opening the latch. So
it cancels them out.
Cancels them out. Yes. Dire Wolf wants to know what's in your lightsaber holster. What color lightsaber do you have? Did you get a red one when you were at Disney? Which one did you do?
I got
several.
Yeah, I did. I think I did 3 lightsaber builds just for me. But I have yellow, red, and green for me. My son did a blue one for him, and my wife did a pink one or purple one for her.
Yeah.
So we have lots of sabers. And then, of course, I mean, not to get off the subject too much.
Hey, we're talking Star Wars, right? So this is all fair and games.
I had to buy the replica, the original Darth Vader
Ooh.
lightsaber. So I'm actually not taking it out or anything. But anyways, this is Darth Vader's lightsaber.
That's
So
really cool. That's super cool.
I actually have forgotten about this
All right, so
until he brought it up.
and then I wanted where's it? I saw it. It's Engineering 42 is wanting to create a giant Simpson cat game or Simon game. I was thinking Simpsons. I was for a second there. I was going to tell you about something else, but Simon game that requires 4 people to solve. That's kind of cool. So if it's going to be like a big cube and the buttons are on each side, I'm just curious how that's going to be. When you design that, let's have you on the show, and we want to see that. That'd be kind
Yeah,
of cool.
I would love to
So
see that.
I'd love to see how you do that. That would be really neat. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling through this here. Of course, Pizza Ninja wants a button like that on his wall so it automatically orders his pizza. No shock there. So B and J Bish, I have the screen replica Leia saber hilt. Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool. I would love to see that too. Of course, both Chad and I are huge Star Wars fans. So
So Pizza Ninja said, you can say so many bad things about the Sith, but they do have cookies. Just saying. So on my event I had this summer,
right.
I had a sign outside that said, "Come to the dark side. We have cookies," and the battle droid was holding it.
The battle droid behind you, I believe.
Yeah, the battle droid. And so, anyways, that was kind of fun. He was holding it for a while, and then we ended up moving him over by people wanted to do photos with the signal and carbonite and stuff, so we ended up moving it all over. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Yes, yeah, pizza or cookies.
Yeah.
So my other thought for the cache. So that's my thought on opening it, and I do like the option for a button that's colored differently. So maybe they're all white except for one's red.
Right. Or not even
They're
doesn't
all
even
red.
light up.
Yeah, or doesn't light up, and if you push it, it cancels them out. I do like that idea. That's a great idea.
That's really cool.
My other thought is, so once you open it, we're looking at puzzles, and we talked about this once before in the past. Is I have a couple extra or pit droid heads
right
here, and so I would like to cut one open and have wires come out.
Yeah, we talked about.
And they'd have to hook the correct wires up that are the same colors, maybe, and I could put a new front on this, and maybe have LEDs that flash out different colored LEDs flash out numbers. And once they counted it would be a code to a lock or something. So it'd be kind of fun to have parts sitting in there. And I got all kinds of pit droid parts. I could just throw a bunch of parts in there as well. And so that's kind of why I like going with this giant container, because I can have multiple things that open that will have parts in it or different puzzles, or just have them laying in there and they have to go through it to figure out, how to open things.
So they could do it as sequential that they have to get into something else to get into. So it's actually almost could be like an escape room in a box where we've had the multiple puzzles, like with, let me bring this up. So like you have that one where they have to solve that, and that gives one clue to another box, another section of inside the box. They can get into that one. And then maybe in the lid is where you have the final cache part. So when it opens up, you're trying to get in here, but all the stuff is in the box. You're trying to open up different parts of up here to get into that other part.
Tom.
What did he say? That was the hat with the wires coming out makes me think if I could wear it and it would read my mind.
So that's pit droids don't talk a ton, you can't understand them. So I thought the lights would be cool, but if I could do another battle droid head, and once you hook up the wires, it could talk in the language and tell you a code or say something. So like you're, entering its memory queue or something like that. Anyways, it could talk. We could add a speaker and everything to it, so to actually have a voice.
That would be cool, Roger. Or if you've ever listened to, because I listened to a lot of the Star Wars books in Audible. There was one by Bones. His name was Bones, is what they called him, and it was actually kind of around the same time frame the Mandalorian's happening right now, and it actually talks about how there was a battle droid that they turned into his voice, and he said it was kind of the way he started, and it kind of sounded kind of creepy, but the way they did the audio version of it was really cool. That's what I hear. Or you can just do the typical battle droid, Roger, Roger. Oh no, your code is whatever, and how they.
That's what I was thinking, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, there's all kinds of options. I also have prints for other droids as well that I can
like
do.
Lola from Obi-Wan.
Oh, I have a Lola.
I know. You've shown it to me
Somewhere.
And then you have an astromech there on your wall. I mean, it could just be a whole box of droid parts.
I have the buzz droids up here, but it's too high for me to reach as well. But
I think that'd be cool if you had a whole bunch of droids inside of there and droid parts. That would be really
that'd be cool. Different heads. Yeah, I have all kinds
heads,
of.
and you'd have to solve something with the heads, and maybe even one of the numbers would be how many heads are in there, or how many arms, and how many, and someone may light up and do different things, and be a whole different scavenger hunt with what's in there. That might be one of the puzzles. So you open up the door, you get into this one door. How many heads are in there, and how many heads, how many legs, how many hands or arms, and that gives you a code to get into somewhere else. And then there's another thing that represents another aspect of it, that you get to call it talking heads. And then the other one, you pick up the BD unit droid. Do you have a BD1, BD2? Have you done a BD unit yet?
No, I have not, but I
Those...
don't know if I have the plans for head for one, but I can get them.
They're on Thingiverse. I've seen them.
Yeah, I usually get them off. I belong to a group, Droid Division.
Okay.
And they do screen accurate droids, so that's where I typically get them. So anyway, but yeah, I've purchased all kinds of droids because I have the idea of printing them up, but it's actually doing it. And then not after you. So I have battle or pit droids. I have like 3 full-size ones printed up, not touched, because now you got to finish them.
Right.
And I get too lazy for that. So.
Yeah. So I think that if you somehow we could come up with different puzzles, and there might be somebody in the chat room, namely Tom, that says, "Is there a sign outside of Chat Shop that says droids are us?"
That'd be fun. So my wife said that I should print all the heads and put them. You know how hunters put heads of animals up? I should put heads of droids up, and I considered it.
Yeah, and I see there's a pit droid right behind you that's not finished up there on your left shoulder.
That's
believe it
is. The body to the head to this head.
To that one, okay.
Yeah,
I was just seeing that because it was right at the head would be where it's at. Was right at the cutoff of
it's too tall to have the head on it up there. So yeah, I probably should just have them sitting down, but
yeah, no, that would be cool. And it's like I said, there's different parts of it. We come up with different puzzles from maybe the pit droid, like you said, has the wires in the back, and that reveals something else to get into another part. And maybe to get into the final part, each one has a separate part to finally get into the last one. So they can't break into get it into it early. It'd be a whole puzzle of all the pit droid or the different droids in there. So
yeah, I like the idea of all the different heads and stuff.
I think it's kind of cool.
Anyway, I don't want to get off the subject. I have all kinds of ideas for Star Wars caches. The egg thing from the first episode of Mandalorian or first season.
Yep.
I thought about doing that and having different colored eggs in. You had to count them.
That'd be funny. That'd be a good one for around Easter coming up. Yeah. The egg cache. It's simple. You might need some help from the Anzellans to assemble his droids.
Yeah.
Yep. And those that aren't Star Wars people, Anzellans are these little droid master builders. So they're great.
Weren't they just on the last episode of the
Mandalorian? They were. Yeah. Or no, they were on the first one. They were on the first episode.
Was it the first one? Okay.
Yeah, they've only done 2 episodes, so it's coming up third on Wednesday, so don't miss that. So that's gonna be good. And I'm excited right now because you got Bad Batch and Mandalorian right now. So
I've not gotten into the Bad Batch. I've watched it a few times, and I just can't seem. I like movies, and everybody disagrees. They're like, it's just as good. It tells more story. But I had a long discussion with Gary about this in his car one day, and I just can't get into it.
the animation's gotten a lot better. You almost forget that it's actually animation now.
Yeah.
B and J Bish says all the droids I think are sarcastic. Yours should be sassy.
Nice. I'll have to figure out how to make it talk, but I like the idea of having it talk. So I like the idea of having multiple heads in there for different things. So I think that'll be fun. We'll have to go that way.
Yeah. So, and you already have a lot of the stuff printed, and those are pretty easy to come up with, and then just putting in the voice modules and maybe that gives us some stuff that we can talk about. Maybe we spend some time on different heads and the puzzles for different parts of it, and it just adds the complete assembly of this one. Sorry, I was to make a Spaceball themed instead. Maybe we could put a Spaceball themed Easter egg in there somewhere,
like a Schwartz ring.
Or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Something of the Schwartz. Or my
be something to do with
my brother's cousins, nephews, uncle, or the Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Yeah. So yeah, something, or the comb. We're combing the desert. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that movie again. I was thinking about it the other day, but yeah, I think that would be this. So we can carry on this theme, doing the different part of it. Dottie said, "Good grief! Now you're throwing way back." Oh no, Dottie was the droid in there. I was thinking of a different one. There was another droid thing. Yeah, there's so many different droids that you could come in there. You could throw a mouse droid in there. You could do let's see here. What else could you put in there? You could put, of course, Lola that you already got. You got maybe an R2 unit aspect of it. I don't know. There's so much that you could put in there. I think it would be really fun.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking up right now on some other ones, but we can go over it later and look at stuff and print them. There's too much stuff.
Sorry, Tom says, could you imagine a burglar breaking into Chad's garage and having all those droids heads start yelling at him? That dude would need therapy. Why does it have to be a dude? Anyway,
my UPS guys tell me no one's ever going to break into my house because I have 2 big Great Danes that anytime they hear something, they just start going crazy. My female, they're like, I think she's going to come through that window sometimes. So, but yeah. Let's see.
So
I had a couple of things to talk about too.
Can you show? Huh? Okay, were you going to show how you wired that latch tonight?
Oh, I can. Yeah, it's just a pretty basic wire, and it's kind of embarrassing then to show my wiring. I literally threw it together like a couple hours ago. So on your buttons, since they light up, you got a negative and a positive here, which I wrote on the board when I put the buttons on, so I knew. Those just create the light, so they're hooked up to the battery here, and then you have your button switch here. The bottom one here is your button here and here. And so all you have is a power going from here to one side of the button, out from that button into here, and out from this side there into the latch system. It's kind of hard. I could untape it all and stuff, but and that's it. And then the rest, just the positive and negative for the lights to be on, is it. I could wire them to a different battery too. If you kind of notice, it's kind of hard to see, but once you push the buttons, it does dim the LEDs a tiny bit. Because you're drawing off.
I don't think they're going to notice that because their fingers are going to be on it.
Yeah, you have to be looking up it. When it's sitting flat and I activate it, I can see it, but that's about it. But very simple. Just your negative and positive for your LED, and then just your switch where you're just using your positive or your negative, whichever one you use, in one, out from the other, into the other, out from the other one, into the next one, or to your latch, however many you want to do. You're just linking them together in series, so they all have to be pushed in order for it to work.
Yeah,
And,
that's cool.
and if you want to cancel it out, then you go to the other style, which is what we've used in the past. Here, pull this. Let me pull this closer. Here, that you have a normally open and normally closed side,
right,
of this. Here you go.
Yeah, we did the whole. This is the schematic that we have on the back of our shirts.
Yes, exactly. And so same thing. You'd have, so if you had normally open and normally closed, then that's how you'd end up canceling it out. And I don't remember what episode we went over that with on here, the exact podcast, but we went over how to connect them all and make that work. So
right, I will find it. I'm gonna look for it real quick. And I'll pull
the
it.
ones I end up using are pretty basic. So I have all different colors and kinds here. I have too much stuff sometimes.
That's what we talked about this. Once we talked about this, whatever you have, you pull out. We mentioned something, you pull it out of the back.
Yeah, so you can get them in multiple colors. Like here, let me put my camera back there. So multiple colors and different styles. This is a pretty basic style here, with everything built in, or you can go with the style that we use on. These are all the same. On the one where you can cancel out, which is this style here. And if you notice, there are different lengths on these two. So depending on what you're trying to go through, you have plenty of threading or not. And the ones I actually used on that switch over there is even smaller than those. It's these ones here, which is even shorter than these and smaller. So there's all kinds of stuff. You can buy them on Amazon. Really inexpensive. But anyways, this is the one I would use to cancel out. Now this one here just has a normally open button on it here. You'd want to go ahead and convert it over to a normally open, normally closed one, which is simple. We teach it in the show as well. You just have to pull it apart like that. Oops. And then pop it back together the right way, this way.
I think I might have found it. It's one of our first shows.
Yeah, it's way back there. We go. So anyways, put it back together like that. And so now you can determine between normally open, normally closed. So you have to buy these separate. I have not found the arcade buttons with the normally open, normally closed one, but you can buy these separate. So, and you don't have to go with round. I have square and rectangle and triangle, and you can even go with, if you want to, the giant round ones, or medium round ones, whatever you want to do. So lots of options.
Lots of options. That's really cool. And I just dropped the link in there. I believe that is the correct. It's building the. I think that's the one I put in there. Building the toggle switch decipher geocache. I think that's the one that we did. We did. Oh nope, that's a different one. That's a different decipher one, but I think it might have done something similar to that. So there's another button one that I just dropped in there. I'm trying to remember which one that was. It's quite a while ago. So
it's been a while, yeah. Which we could probably figure it out later and put it up if you haven't found it. But they can also go back and look at the show notes, because I'm sure we put everything in the show notes then.
Well, and I know. Well, actually, the one that I did last year for Star Wars for May the 4th was with that schematic with the 9 buttons. In fact, I can find my video from my channel really quick on that. So let me put that up there, because I know that one. I went over it, and I know I linked the video in that one. So let me go back to that one.
My 9 button one is right there, but I don't want to have to get my step stool out.
Right. No, I understand. Let me pull. It was because I showed how to do it. I believe I showed how to do it in that one, and then went in through there. So I'm looking over here. Sci-fi. It was a sci-fi build. Okay, yeah, there is a 3-part series. So, I'll start off. Was it that one? Oh no, that was that one. I know I did it. Maybe it was wiring the it was wiring the gadget cache. There it is. Okay, I found it. The sci-fi build that I did last year was actually did Star Trek. We did a Star Trek that after May the 4th. So we did a whole bunch of different sci-fi ones last year. So this video here actually goes through the wiring of that I did on my channel. So
Okay.
there it is. And I know I linked it into wiring. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm trying to look in the chat how we did it. And I did with simple wiring with no soldering. So that was something that's really good with that for people. So
I think I did the same thing. I think I used the crimpers and crimped on ends to them.
I think that's what I did too. I did that, and then those that don't like soldering, and I was recommending this to somebody else the other day, and it's the solder sleeves. If you're soldering wires together, you get those little solder sleeves, and you use a heat gun. And I've also seen that you can use a lighter as well. I use the heat, and it'll methyl solder and did shrink protection on there as well. I use that quite a bit. I fix just things around the house. Yep, I'm talking about those there. Those solder sleeves, I absolutely love those things. Those are so great if I'm just doing wires to wire aspect of some things. So
yeah, that's cool. They make a big difference.
And they save time. Yeah. And they save time. So
yeah. So I think I just need to I have an idea on the buttons, so I just need to figure out how many to do, and I like the idea of the one that cancels it out. So I'm gonna have to figure out. I don't know if I do one on each side and 2 or 3 in the front, or do 2 on the sides and 2 in the front, and one would cancel it out. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure it out on there, and then I got to figure out how to attach the latch. So there's not really a lot of good places to attach the latch to that lid.
No,
and then I didn't want them to Go ahead.
Open up the lid. Show me let's look at the lid. Because if you have the droid parts all in the bottom and you had all the puzzles that they're opening up in the lid, is it pretty deep, or it's not? Is it
the container itself or the lid?
The lid itself.
No, it's not very deep at all. But from here where it mounts to here, it's going to be either the latch is going to have to stick up, or I'm going to have to build something to sit flush. And then my thought was, I don't really want to have one latch on it because someone's going to try and open it from one side. So I might end up doing 2 latches and taking off these latches here that comes with it. Actually removing those and then putting 2 electronic latches in there is what I think would happen. Would be the best way to go. And then, all kinds of parts. Obviously, I want to put something up here to make it more Star Wars-ish. And then something down here. The other thing I could do too, and this might be the easiest, is the Star Wars container I did last year. I have another one of those, but that was a 30-gallon. I have a 65, so it actually sits up this high, and it's bigger. I could do another round one with a bunch of heads in it as well. That would be kind of cool, but I don't know. I think this would give you more space.
Yeah, I like that container, and I think the space of it it's just what you can do with the lid, from either laser cutting something that goes in there to fit, and have multiple doors that they open. And I was thinking if you had the lid there, that's what you could attach the latch to. So when it opens, it's because that little metal hasp that goes into.
And yeah, I was going to use the CNC machine and cut the lid to it. And yeah, I'm just not 100% sure. That's just something I'm going to have to think about and work on.
Right.
It's one of those things I think as you're going, you just kind of got to make it up. I think figuring out how you're going to attach everything first is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, I do too. And that of course, trying to figure that out is always part of it. And like we've said before, as we're building gadget caches, You get the fun aspect of trying to get into them. We get the fun aspect of trying to figure out how you are going to get into them. So, so it's kind of, we have to figure it out, the puzzle itself. So, and how it's going to make it fun. So I'm looking back through the chats real quick. Okay, you could build a smaller box that attaches inside the lid to hide stuff, is what Tom is saying. Oh, I'm reading Dire Wolves here. Would I be able to do this multi-person latch release thing if I took my shoes off at ground zero? If you can get your legs around that box and get your toes,
as long as you can push the buttons, I guess.
If you can get your toes built up, but here's the thing: if you're laying across the box and you close that lid, that latch is not going to open. So you have to figure out how you're going to do that, because it's a gravity thing. And I did have noticed, if depending on how heavy that is, when you push those buttons, somebody's going to have to lift that up because it won't actually spring it open depending on how heavy that lid is with the way that latch is.
So I was thinking about that, and I bought these a long time ago. Oh, so there's another thing here too that I kind of wanted to share too.
Sorry, yeah. B&J Bish says only if you are also a contortionist, and Direwolf says.
So I have these hydraulic arms.
Yes. So when it releases, it actually would push it up.
It would then lift up. And I thought about that. You have to put probably 2 on, maybe 1, but 2. And these come with all the side mounts and stuff to actually screw them in to the side and everything. So
yeah, I think you'd have to do that because I did a box here that had that latch in there, and it was just made out of wood. And I had to, once it fired, I'd have to lift it up because it was not enough because the gravity holding that lid down, it wasn't enough. From the side, it has no problem. Or if it's light, it has no problem. But anything, when I heard you close that door on the lid on that was pretty loud and sounded pretty heavy. So I think I think you'd have to put those the hydraulics in there to do that, or not hydraulics, but you know what I'm talking about. Those things.
So my other thought was to just build a new container from scratch, which is not hard either, and then I can do whatever I want. Well, in Star Wars, if you see their storage containers, this is what they look like. So I could do something like that and put buttons on the outside, or just a basic container. I mean, there could be anything.
Yeah, that looks a lot like our 3D cube that we made.
I know. I said that to Dave a long time ago, that it looks a lot like that. But yeah, but that's been in Star Wars for years. As containers. So I thought about building my own custom container as well, and then I don't have to worry about any of this stuff. But it's kind of nice to have something that's made, it's durable, it has wheels on it, and a handle to actually be able to move it.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about picking it up to control, because it is big. And then anything I build is not going to be that light if it's the same size. Yeah. The other thing I thought would be cool is I found this, and this is a really cool container. I think this is very sci-fi-ish if you paint it and you make something out of it.
It is.
So I thought that would be kind of a cool container, and then I could put a lid on it or make a custom lid for that as well. And that's just a drain, a downspout drain or a drain container.
So B&J Bish says, I want to see a Star Wars ice cream maker safe. So a Cartuna is what I think those cars are. A Cartuna. The ice cream maker that they had the had the fast car in, and then a New Hope. Oh, no, was it New Hope? No, that wasn't New Hope. It was Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
When he was
one guy for how many seconds it was shown in there?
Yeah, and it was the running of those now that they do everywhere. So yeah, one of those. That would be kind of cool as well.
I actually have all the files to make one.
Of course you do, Chad.
So I just have to have the time. I thought about it. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Don't want to make everything out of Star Wars, but I enjoy Star Wars, so and I just like making stuff. These would be a lot easier to make if it didn't have to be geocache related sometimes. But maybe we'll have to come up with a separate show that does that.
Yeah, we might.
Geocache related.
Yeah,
we could be on every day, and I could show you different things.
Oh yeah, we could do something just like shorts and stuff like that. So
the other thing, I do have a little. This is too small. I do have a little droid head here.
Yeah,
but I think that's too small.
It's like an R5 unit.
Yeah.
You could do something with that. That would be kind of cool. Maybe what if that had it was a lock, like a spinning lock that you had to open up somehow, almost like one of those 3D maze, 3D hidden maze.
Oh yeah.
So that's what the actual droid, and you can spin it open, and it opens up that way and has something in there.
So I also have these motion sensors. I don't know if you can see it. That I thought. That's what I thought. So I thought when you opened it, it'd be on the lid somewhere, or you can even have it here. So it has to have some kind of motion in front of it for it to actually even turn the battery on to work, or have it inside. I don't know. Either way, it'd be a good Greebly.
It would be a cool Greebly, or you could have like one of the little. I disguise that as one of the ball things that comes out like at Jabba's house, which there's the little ball thing that comes out that they got the approval to come in. That would be something that would be kind of cool that'd pop out of that.
The other thing I thought about doing is having something where you have to use the iPad to access it. So I have this security iPad holder here that with a lock system on it.
Right.
And it kind of bends, but I didn't know how to make that work exactly. I actually thought about using this with my robotic arm since it requires an iPad. But I don't know. I have all kinds of stuff here I was going through to think about what I could use to make work cool with this cache. So
there's just so many different ideas to be able to think about what you could do. So I love seeing the ideas that people have been putting in the chat. The 5 buttons, that's really cool. That's probably chat's going to be using on that. The different aspects that we've talked about, coming up with the whole droid head aspect of it, puzzles in that. I'm excited to see what else is going to be coming up as the next few weeks. Well, Chad, we're off, not here next week, but we'll be back the following week. The last Sunday of the month, we'll be back. So you don't want to miss that. And so excited to see where this heads down, Chad. I really am.
Heads down with all the heads in it.
Yeah, that was no pun intended on that one. So, they just roll off my tongue, not even when I realize it.
Yeah, so this is going to be more of an event cache.
That's answering Dire Wolf's question here. And this
yeah.
You sure wouldn't want to drag that out and hide it in the woods. Will you be hiding it in a local business or outside business? It might be easier and safer. Very true. But it's going to be, like Chad was just saying, it's an event cache.
When Joshua posted my other cache, the other Star Wars one on his TikTok, everybody was saying I'd steal it if I found that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't.
Yeah, that's why it's not out. That's why it's not out.
That's why no one can put anything good out.
So.
Can't have nice things. So that was my thought on stuff. I can show you those suitcases too. Just because.
Oh yeah. You were going to show me those suitcases. Definitely wanted to see these. So while Chad's going to get that, if you have any comments or questions or any other ideas, you can always, underneath our names, you can see under Chad's, it's got our email address, gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can find us on social on Instagram and on there at Gadget Talk Podcast. So you just send us a message. You can, and there, share your gadgets with us. If you got a really cool cache that you're building, I'd love, like I said, the cache that's being built, that's going to be the giant multi-person Simon. Love to see you. Let's see how that's built. Love to have you on the show. So just message us, email us. We'll get back to you. And because this is really your show, and we want to have more builders on here and just kind of share ideas and just bounce some things off of us and see what you guys are building. So, all right, what do you got, Chad? Let's see these suitcases.
So this is mine. So it's an Imperial suitcase.
That's awesome.
It has our code that we came up. This is our last name, and then on mine, so it's just like that all the way around. On mine, I actually 501st is the
501st
Stormtrooper, and so I have 30 different legions of trooper stickers on it.
Oh, cool.
So and then you have from different areas. There's Canadian ones, there's British ones, there's just all kinds. Cool. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I like Empire. My wife does not. So she has her Jedi logo on there, and then some of her stuff. So it's just kind of fun stuff that we made for our trip on our suitcases, and then it's easy to find them.
Yep, easy to find them when you come into the airport. That's really cool. I absolutely love that idea. That is really cool. I need to do that with mine. I really do. I need to get new suitcases to be able to do that.
I've had people ask me how much I'd charge them to do it. I'm like, man, it's just fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Those are really fun. So, all right. So the next time we're going to be on is going to be the last Sunday of this month, which is May. Wow. We're talking about May the 4th, and that threw me off, which is pulling up a calendar. There we go. Pulling out the phone. Next time we're on is March 26th. So March 26th, we'll be back on. So, Chad, you got a couple weeks to kind of work on this and print as much as you can, or just reutilize the droid heads that you have all over the place. The droid horror show that you have there in your workshop. So I
think the body would be kind of cool for the pit droid too to have.
It would be,
because I have not to get up a couple minutes left.
I just think random droid parts and different things, you have to do different things in the clues.
Different things like that.
So I think that would be really, really good. While Chad's looking for that, I'm going to put up.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to you, but I forgot I don't have my wireless mic on. So these are parts we don't need. Okay. So the body of a pit droid, right? It's hollowed out. I could actually do something on that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you could have just random parts, arms, legs, eyes, stuff like that in here of different things. And I can print one of these heads up that's hollow so I can actually put the wires and stuff in it. But I like that idea. Maybe I'll do a body that just has wires sticking out of the back.
Right.
And it won't do anything, right? But it'll be kind of a red herring.
Red herring, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Lots of different ideas, lots of different puzzles that you can come up with and do this. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it kind of gives you a good direction. I just got to figure out the locks. I think is the first thing I need to figure out. That's going to be the hardest part on how to attach locks and have it open, and then go from there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So once again, if you want to reach out to us, of course, underneath Chad's name is our email, gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. And under me, it's at Gadget Talk Podcast, where you can find us on Instagram and different social media platforms. You'll be able to find us there. Send us a message if you have any ideas or comments, or if you just want to come on to the show and show us some of your gadgets. We'd love to have you on, and so that we can discuss what you have. We haven't done a challenge in a while, Chad, and I know I'm just kind of throwing this out as I'm wrapping up, but we need to come up with another challenge to have some builders do some stuff. Do you think?
Yeah. I would love to. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments here. So just going back on reading some of them. But yeah, if I would love to, if anybody out there has an idea and wants to come on and share an idea or give us an idea, kind of like what Pizza Ninja did several
with
months
the
back.
Sasquatch cat. Yeah, with Sasquatch
Yeah,
Cash.
I actually haven't sent that to him yet because I wanted to. We had a Gadget Academy at HQ Friday, so I actually wanted to show it to them, and so now I get to ship it out to him. But yeah. Anyway, anything like that, we'd love to hear from you and maybe help you come up with a build or some ideas.
Right. And Chad, could you share that that clue one more time with everybody real quick? Because I did
Oh
not
yeah,
see it in here.
should be the very bottom there, but here it is.
All right. So once again, here's the clue, the 11th clue: locked box hidden in a creative round crevice around its stone wall, obscured by a small stone and weeds. The box is also in a cheap plastic bag to disguise it as trash to any potential and remain untouched. I don't know. So there
Looks like it
is
has a fence around it, whatever it is.
I know. So there it is. So check that out. And so all right. So there's the clue. And then once again, if you want to go back through the chat. There is a Facebook group where you can find all the clues if you want to go back and try and find the clues for those keys for the vault for Cash Fest. So all right. Anything else, Chad, before we off for the night?
Nope, looks like I have some homework to do here over the next week or so.
Yep. And I'm looking forward to seeing the progress and see where you end up going with this. So until the 26th, we'll out. We'll see you next time. Don't forget there's other stuff going on the Geocache Talk Network this week. Also, I've almost forgot the packages for Cache Fest are up. So if you go to cachefest.com, the packages, the event packages are all up there now. So you can go order your packages on there for that event. So looking forward to
Also, order your pre-event coins.
Pre-event coins. Yep, those are up there. So, all right, everybody. We will catch you next time on Gadget Talk. See you soon.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.